Peace and love, ladies and gentlemen. You're now tuning in to another episode of Talk That Talk with Q. I am your host, Q, and I got sitting in on this episode with me.
D Tate, how's everybody doing?
And what we're going to do is talk about today's topic, which is untangling relationships, friendships, and partnerships. Understanding and knowing the difference and why it matters.
Love, talk that talk with you. Come on in, come speak your truth. Break the chain. Talk that talk with you.
Let's get to it. This topic here, it seems minute to some people, to a vast amount of people as we did statistics, but at the same time, it is very critical because it's something that you don't think about, but we do every single day. We intertwine the differences between friendships, relationships, and partnerships, and we don't even think twice about it. But it is a serious thing that affects us mentally, and that's why I decided to address this on today's episode. So, for what we have, the clarification of definitions is what we're doing is we tend to take our relationship with whomever we are intimate with or are courting and stuff like that, and we combine it with our business ethics, that's our partnerships, and we tend to cross them over thinking that one and the other are the same when they're absolutely not. The titles and definitions of them are definitions and separate for a reason. And what I noticed by interviewing a few people on the street with simple questions, they don't understand the difference. They all think that it's the same and it doesn't matter because they're all like one and the same, but they're really not. And that's what we really want to address. So let's get into it, man. So the first question I was asked is, why is it important to define the terms rather than just using them interchangeably? And we want to talk about that just a little bit on why it's so important. So I'll give you an example real quick. Say you got partnership, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And me and Dame is doing business together. We're partners in business. And what he does on the ethics side of the business is his compass of what he understands his role is, his position is, in order to get the task done. And then I have my position of what my role is, what my task is to get the same position and the same order done so we can complete the same task for the business. But what happens is he takes that role that he's doing in his business and he takes it home to his significant other. Still in that role, it will not match saying, oh, hey, at home, say for instance for me, I'll say, okay, I'm CEO, I'm running this, I'm the boss here, I'm doing this and this company, and we're trying to meet this quota, and this is the guidelines what we're trying to meet. Then I take that home and think the same way. No, that don't work like that. Oh, I'm the boss here of this household, and this is what I'm doing. I'm the alpha, I'm the kingship here. Okay, I can be a king. That's one thing. Leading the family. But going in it with a partnership mentality into your relationship, saying that you're the boss, you're running this household, doing all that, it don't operate the same, because when that relationship, it takes intimacy, it takes security, it takes the vulnerability, it takes all of those things which are totally different from the hardships or the harshness of running business. And I think that's where we fall short at. What do you think on it?
You know, so because when it comes to that, like I said, within the business, it's more about professionalism.
Right.
And you have to have that mindset. You can't bring that home to you in an intimate relationship, because that is more personal.
Yeah.
And like everybody knows and everything, the mixing of business and personal is like a recipe for disaster.
Right.
So you can't bring those two together. And your wife, your significant other, your companion, whatever, they're not going to agree with that type of, like you said, that harsh feeling and that harsh kind of like aggressiveness coming into the home, because it's supposed to be more of a connection and you're supposed to have like a bond. In a business, there is a bond, but it's completely different than what you have with your relationship with someone that you've been intimate with.
Right.
Partnerships is professional, contractual, things of that nature, because it's more like I said, you're trying to run a machine.
Right.
Your relationship shouldn't be looked at as a machine per se.
Correct.
So if you go in there with that type of mindset, yeah, like those are two totally different dynamics. So again, like I say, yeah, I agree exactly what you're saying. Like, we mix up these words and totally use them out of context, but we try to change the definitions to make it fit to our narrative or our perspective of certain things.
Right.
And be like, oh yeah, well, yeah, that's my partner, and no, that's your girlfriend or that's your wife. That's not your partner.
Technically, no.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
knowing the difference instead of speaking loosely on these terms does weigh out heavy. And like I said, a lot of people that we question on the street just normally thought nothing of it. No, my partner is my partner. That's my significant other. No, it's technically not, because if that was the case, then your mindset will be running the same way with your friends. So now we add in friendship. Most people are friends on a mutual ground of, I respect you, I understand who you are, and you respect me, you understand who I am. We are different, but we can coincide with each other. We're cool. Let's be friends. That's that type of thing. But when you turn it into now I have to use in partnership, or or my relationship thoughts, and you get emotionally attached whenever your friends have a disagreement.
Yep.
Now you're bringing in the emotion of a relationship, that intimacy, or the relationship or the partnership of structural hard business. And that's where things mess up. Like I said, these little things people don't take, for granted. They take for granted, not understanding that your habits intertwine with each other, and they mix up. And that's how most times we get into unnecessary disagreement, hardships, or arguments over little stuff.
Yeah, you got people falling out over things that it shouldn't have been, because it's taken personal when something is supposed to be just business.
Yep.
And that's where I think a lot of that saying comes from. This is business, not personal.
Right.
Okay, well, if it's like that, that's how we need to look at everything. Like, words have power, and we need to understand the verbiage that we use and in the way that we're using them.
Right.
Like I said, words have definitions for a particular reason, so we know how to specifically describe the situation, or we know what we're saying. And when we sit there and just seem to change words around, like I say again, to fit how we want it to make it feel, no, that's not what that means. And that's what I think a lot of us get confused with. And like I said, that's how a lot of things, friendships fall apart. And especially where when you have friends and you bring them into a business, it needs to be like an understanding and like a guideline, or like like a line drawn that, okay, we understand. Yeah, man, you get into a business. Yeah, you my man. We cool, yo. We outside the business and everything. You my ace. But when we go to work, we have to understand this is a business mindset. We have to go in it as a business. Whatever happens outside of here, if we had an argument or something about something personal outside of here, we need to keep it outside of here. When it comes to work, we need to be able to work together, because this now has something to do with our economic growth.
Right.
This has to do with our finances. We have families that we need to take care of, and we need to see this business grow.
Yeah.
We can't let something personal or petty outside of this affect the business part, because anything that we try and grow and we try and bring other people into it, they can feel that vibe, and they'll be like, okay, something don't seem right here. You try and talk to some business partners that either want to buy in, or we're trying to sell something and we're at heads with each other.
Right.
We're not going to connect now, because now the whole business thing is kind of in the back of our mind, because one of us is a little bit too upset or too emotional to think about the business and the professional part. And things are coming out wrong, or like I said, just the vibe is just off.
Yeah. Even more importantly, the families, the spouse, that go into it, a business with themselves, a husband and wife or whoever go into business with each other, and I watched, two relationships personally, businesses fold, because the one spouse in the relationship is predominantly trying to take charge of everything, not just at the business, it's spilling over into their personal life, where the other one is constantly, even at functions in front of us, like, we not at work, you know that?
Yeah.
You know that, you're not telling me what to do right here, right now. And that shows how some people can overindulge and be locked into the partnership side and not thinking about their relationship side to understand their significant other, you know, and that it's really critical. Like, and like I said, I watched in particular a relationship fold like that because they could not get it together, other than bringing all their personal issues back to work and their work issues back home. Mixing up the difference between partnership and relationship. And it is, like I said, these are more of the reasons why today's topic was crucial to talk about and for us to get some understanding and solutions behind this.
You know what I'm saying? Like I said, not at all, we're not condemning, you know, people who are in relationships, like starting businesses together or anything like that, but it's more so, yeah, we need to, you know, highlight this and point this out and everything so everybody gets a broader understanding and how to work past it, because, yeah, just like you said, I witnessed the same thing, and it's not a pretty sight to have, like, yeah, like one person in a relationship, like they start a business together, and they're taking their home life, like how they control things at home, and bring it to the work part, and that's not always a well fit,
Right.
because like in a business and everything with a partnership, if both of you have a business mind, you have to work together. It can't be I'm greater than this person here, like you need to listen to me, what I say goes. That's not how a good business is going to work, especially like because nobody is perfect. Nobody knows everything.
Man.
So, you know, you have to listen to your partner, because you may have one site, but if they see something that you're not seeing, and you just want to take over everything because maybe that's what you're used to being at home or something, that's going to butt heads, and that's going to create a very toxic environment.
Yeah.
So,
What the next example is it was more so about the importance of avoiding mismatched expectations, reducing conflicts, promoting healthier boundaries. So the thing was what we just spoke about. If you could just communicate with each other a little bit more, whether it's a partnership, friendship, or a relationship. Like, I don't know why in today's time we still not just straight up with each other. Like, it's always something that you should have said, you could have said, but you chose not to say. Like, hey, this is how I am, this is how I feel, and this is the way I operate, if it's a business or even in a relationship. Like, if we have more communication, and in our culture, we don't want to keep specifying the difference between, because it's just in people in general, but we need to be more verbal and not consider our verbal communication or expressing ourselves vulnerability, because that's a big thing. Feeling vulnerable is like, oh, nah, especially for a man. Yeah, nah, that's showing me some weakness, you know. That's yeah, that ain't for me. But your lady is like, I need a little bit of that. Yeah. Could you show me a little bit of that compassion, that little sensitive side? You know, can you show me a little bit of something so I can see a difference, or at least just talk to me, communicate with me so I can understand you better? And that goes on every front. But what happens again? You crossing them over. Now that, like, say for instance, like I said earlier, that dominant male or something, or even that dominant female is expressing herself all aggressive, or this is how I am, and everybody knows me like that. They know you like that. People might know you that in the streets for running your business like that, but not your relationship, because the street shouldn't know your personal relationship first off. You know what I'm saying? So they know you for a certain way, how you perceive to them from probably running your business or your friendships with other people, but not your relationship. It shouldn't be the same way. You want to chime in?
yeah, and I was going to say, with that, I believe it's also with like us as a, I don't even want to say as a culture. I just think as human beings in general,
Right.
we all need to try to use more logic and listening,
Mm-hmm.
and try to understand instead of getting so emotional about everything. Because right now in the climate, everyone and everything is so emotional. Whether you want to admit it or not, every little thing will trigger someone in some way.
Right. Right.
If you're in a relationship, y'all are supposed to have that open understanding. Both of you should be transparent with each other. Both of you should be able to listen to each other before jumping to conclusions. And I mean, listen, don't just hear someone. Listen and understand, and don't just hear something to try to refute or for a rebuttal.
Mm-hmm.
Like, listen, take it in, and try to look at something from someone else's point of view. So the person who was expressing the issue is now their turn, that they should be listening to how you intended, or like how you were what you meant by what you said.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't take it as personal, but they have to be open to listen,
Right.
so they can understand it better. Because a lot of times we all hear something, we take it that certain way, and we think that's what it is because that's how we felt internally, and we just emotionally we just take that on like it's a form of attack or aggression.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's something we need to look past. Like, everyone's not here to attack you. We're not always on the defense. Especially if you're in a relationship, you shouldn't feel like you're always on the defense.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this person should be your peace. This person is supposed to be your support system. This person is supposed to be your backbone,
Mm-hmm.
and all that good stuff. So I think we all, in general, everyone needs to work on that nowadays and stop just taking things so, like, letting your emotions take over everything. Try to think of things logically first,
Yeah.
and everything, and just see where, like I said, just try to understand things a little bit better. Because I think that'll give people more open to expressing things and really like speaking to someone, whether it's like I said, whether it's your partner, relationship, friendship. If you have someone that's more open to listen, I think it'll give people more opportunity. And it'll make them want to communicate better.
Yeah. Anybody, because now you feel like I'm being heard.
Yeah.
You're actually listening to me.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of almost segues into the next question that we asked random people, and that one was, what are the potential negative consequences of this confusion of mixing friendship, partnership, and relationships up, the difference between them? And for the most common answers that they agreed upon was expecting romantic partners to fulfill all needs: friendship, business partner, and therapist. Now that right there alone says a lot, because in times, which is because we are human, and it happens.
Mm-hmm.
But most, you look for your partner is man and women, or man and man, or woman and woman, whatever it may be. Whoever you had like a romantic thing with, that was probably your business partner or your co-worker at work or something, and now you felt like it got a little further, or y'all are taking it a little further, but now you all of a sudden you're acting as if, or expecting, shall I say, that other person to be your friend, your business partner, or your co-worker at the same time still, and your therapist. Lashing out, putting all your baggage on them right away, instantly, and not even if it's just right away, it could be over time period, just all building up. You don't think that other person has issues and topics that, and things that they need to deal with too? But defining the differences, some would say, well, that's if this my person I'm about to get to be with and stuff like that, I should be able to come to them with all that. Yeah, you should. But it's also in a certain way, in a certain manner, how you should come to them. Remember what we said before, the friendship and partnership is nowhere near like your relationship. That is more of an intimate thing between you two, where it is on a higher level, a deeper connection for the sentimental side, the emotional side, the understanding, and everything else. Where the other side of partnerships or co-workers or just basic friends passing by, it will never be that way unless you are that way with your friends and your coworkers. You the same way as your friend, your lover or your spouse or whoever. Then, well, that's a different type of person, you know.
Yeah, and like I said, you said something that I want to point out, like you said, like a therapist.
Yeah.
And that is, to me, makes that so much more like intricate or more like complicated.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like I said, we're all humans. We all have our own personal issues that we've gone through in life. And there may be certain people that have gone through more. And a lot of us have not dealt with those personal issues. A lot of us have certain things that our partner can't help us through.
Right.
We can talk about it, but we ourselves have to know how to navigate or how to move on from it. We have to work on that either within ourselves or actually get professional help. Mm-hmm. We can't expect our partner to be that professional help because, like you spoke on, they may be going through their own things. Mm-hmm. They may have gone through their own like type of trauma, mm-hmm. or something like that they went through from childhood or just life in general. And if we are sitting there expecting them to, okay, you could take on all of my baggage, you could take on all of my issues, and I should be able to unload this, and you should be able to deal with this and help me through it. Okay, yeah, if you have a partner and your partner loves you, they will be willing to do that, but that don't mean that they are professionally and probably even emotionally strong enough and everything to help you through yours, because they're probably still going through something on their own.
Yeah.
So we can't expect all of that from someone. We can be, your friend can be your friend. Your, whoever you are in a relationship, like say your lover, your spouse, your whatever, they can be that, and they can be there for you. But to try to expect them to be everything, I think that's something that we kind of put too much pressure on each other.
Yeah.
And I, have conversations with certain friends, and I always tell them, like, yo, until you're happy with yourself, it's going to be hard for you to be happy with anyone else.
Yeah.
Because they can't make you happy if you're not happy with yourself.
Right.
So there's a lot of work that I feel that a lot of us, we need to take care of and we need to heal from. Mm-hmm. And we can't expect somebody else to magically do that healing for us.
And yeah, you're right about that. So the second most common answer that random people chose was turning friendships into romantic relationships without addressing potential power imbalances. So I don't know if I'm not to say it like this, but y'all don't understand that part. But expecting to turning friendships into romantic relationships without addressing potential power imbalances, meaning the other significant other or the one that they were interested in from that friendship turning it into a romantic thing, and they not realizing that one, the person themselves was wanting the power imbalance over the other going into it, or vice versa. The other wanted the power over the person wanting to get into the relationship, turning the friendship into a romantic relationship. And we see that a lot, like I addressed again earlier about the alpha male or the alpha woman wanting to take over the relationship, whether it's proclaiming dominance over them, like, well, I'm doing this, I take care of this, I do all of this, now I need you to just be doing this, or I run the house, or I run this, and so you have to abide by what I'm saying, or it's nothing. That's where a lot of people get things mixed up, and that's where, come on, for an example, you don't want to hear your boss saying, I'm the boss all the time, like I just said before. So why you want to hear the one you're confining in, looking for that comfort and support to keep saying, oh, but I run this, remember that, you're going to start forgetting about the love as you keep remembering the addressment of, I am in power, I'm running the house, I'm the alpha male or female. So you understand that, then we're good. And like, obviously, a lot of people feel this way. This is the highest percentage. And the third one is relying on colleagues for emotional support instead of professional help. And Dame, you just talked about that one. That was the one. That was the third one. A lot of people obviously complains about, okay, I'm just your co-worker, dude. I don't want to hear all your problems that you got at home. We trying to get this work done. I want to clock in, do my 4 hours, my 8 hours, and be gone. I don't want to hear about yours. I got my own stuff to worry about. But yes, it's for some people, we need that outlet with the people our co-workers, you know what I'm saying, our friends and stuff like that. But understand, it goes back to communication. Hey, you don't mind if we kick it about such and such? I got a little bit on my mind. And that's either with your spouse too. You're in your relationship. Talk.
Yeah, I was about to say, but also like I said, when it comes like to co-workers too,
Yeah.
I know sometimes we may get it confused because, you know, if someone is, you know, if you're working all the time or you feel like I'm at work all the time, I'm always on the grind,
Yeah.
and you're working with particular people that you're with a lot of the day, understand there's 24 hours in a day. We're only around those people 4 to 8 hours a day.
Right. Yeah.
So you may have it confused because you work with this person and you think you know them because you're at work with them as what you assume is a lot.
Right.
You don't know them outside of work. So yeah, you may want to, you may not want to confide too much in your coworker because they're your coworker. I know you see them a lot because you're always at work, but you don't know that person. Now, if y'all actually build a friendship and y'all are hanging outside of work, that you get to know this person, okay, and you guys are male or female, you guys are kind of like-minded, and you have that comfortability that you can, you know, you can confide in this person, you can speak to this person, you can tell this person about certain things, and you can trust that this person is not going to betray that trust. And this person is comfortable with talking to you about these things. That's one thing, but that also should be held outside of work. Don't let that interfere with your job. Because again, partnership, co-worker stuff, being at work should not interfere with personal things. Outside of work, your friendship and everything, then you can, you know, do all that. You can talk about whatever and get stuff off your chest, but you have to separate the two. Business and personal are two different things. Even if you're in a relationship with the person that you're working with, business and personal are two totally different things.
Right.
Whatever is happening personal, do not bring that to work, because that's going to be a toxic and very volatile environment for everyone involved. Because if you're working with your significant other, y'all have a personal qualm or issue at home, or even if you don't live together, you just y'all having a personal argument and y'all at heads, and then y'all go to work together, the people around y'all are going to feel that energy. And now you got other people that's in your business and they don't need to be in your business, and now you're going to get mad at them that, oh, they need to mind their business. You brought them into your business.
Right.
So we have to learn how to separate these things.
Yeah. And it is critical, because then that's how you get the arguments, the fights, and the disputes over unnecessary stuff, because you chose to blend the differences when they are differences. Just that. Keep a partnership, keep a relationship, and a friendship, and know the difference. Like, even for me sometimes, I kind of get this way with him and my other boys and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying, and, you know, my other friends and stuff like that, when I'm like, y'all not understanding me, so y'all don't get me. So I get emotionally charged when I'm like, yo, I'm trying to do this is for the future, I'm trying to see this business out, but y'all not understanding right now. Why I gotta show you everything first? Can you just understand me? So then I started to get emotionally charged with it, and I'm like, oh, I gotta bring it down. I can't get mad at them because they're not seeing my vision. It's my vision. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's not theirs. But I have to put it down or lay it out on the thinking differently, not emotionally charged. I'm like, okay, let's just format this a different way so they can understand me on the business level.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And get it. And get where I'm going. Because other than that, I don't want this to affect our friendship. our partnership to affect our friendship. And that's what stuff tends to do, because then you lash out, say something, or you discard them because they ain't getting it. I'm going to just move on and find somebody else, and that I think going to understand and get it. But that ain't how it always works. That's not how it works. It's just because that at that moment, you separating the differences between that and not letting the difference or the misunderstanding, or so I say, of that happened during your partnership with your business to affect your friendship outside of it that has nothing to do with that. You know?
Yeah. I would say, and also with that, like to like piggyback off that is like how we always speak about like communication.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, because if you show that and everything as well, like say, yeah, you see your vision, and yeah, we could be the best of friends. Like, yo, my ace, that's my, like, man, something happened to my man, dude, I'm riding for it.
Yeah.
Period. But we are not the same person. So, like I said, it's his vision.
Right.
I can have a vision. That's my vision. But I have to, or we have to explain that vision. Like, okay, this is what we see. Now, just because we're friends, I may not be fit for that vision.
Right.
And me being his friend, I will understand. I'm gonna have to fall back. I'm gonna let you handle that because I don't want to hinder your vision. But I know I'm not equipped to do that though.
Not, oh man, why I'm your boy. Why you ain't pick me to do this with you? What's wrong with you? What's up with that?
Exactly, and people, and then like I said, you have friends that take that personal. and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
okay, like listen, like this is something I saw and everything. I can bring it to you.
Yeah.
But if you're not,
Fit for it.
if you know you're not fit for it too, you have to understand your limitations as well.
Right.
You have to understand, like, yo, okay, I want to see my man succeed. I want to see him progress. If that's not with me, this is the mature thing, and this is me being your boy. I'm gonna step back and I'm gonna let you grow. There's other people that can help you with this, but I can't fill that spot.
Right, yeah.
Now I will support with whatever it is. I will support you 100%, but I can't do that.
That certain particular
Yeah, like
role,
whatever it is
yeah.
in that part, I can't fit that role.
No, yeah, because it was damn. Like, if we just keeping it real, that's how I felt about like, yeah, damn. I'm about to get ready to start shooting these films, man. What's up? You trying to be one of the actors on it, so I ain't gotta go scout for one. That'd be one less person. Yeah, if I'm fit for it, or if not. But I'm like, it's right here. Just take this role.
Yeah, I was about to say, but see, again, man, that is me 100%.
Yeah.
I know what I can do.
Yeah.
I know what I will feel comfortable at doing, and me feeling comfortable, I can give you my 100%.
Yeah.
And I know it'll come off well, and it will show exactly how your vision and what you're trying to do. So if I can do it, yo, you got me. I'm there 100%.
Right.
But I know if I'm not going to feel comfortable with it, that's going to project onto the camera, onto the film, or how I deliver something. It's going to project to that and everything. And that might be just that one part. Maybe the one that might be the killer to your vision, and someone be like, man, that would have been dope, but
if you had,
like, who was that dude though? Like, man, he ain't had nothing.
Yeah.
And now that may ruin your vision, so that may affect you business wise.
Yeah.
That could possibly affect our friendship because you're gonna look like yo, man,
what the hell, man? I
like,
gave
like,
you
dude,
the
like
role.
I gave you a part, like yo, and because I wasn't man enough and everything to step away, but like, no, I couldn't do this. I'm sitting there, yeah, all right, and now I'm looking like a fool.
Yeah, communication.
I can't be mad if he's upset because I should have been man enough and everything to say, no, I can't do that.
Yeah.
So it's like everyone has to have, like I said, that understanding. Everyone has to have that communication. Everyone has to be able to speak up and be open and honest with each other. And that will help everything grow instead of keeping things so stagnant because someone is trying to fit somewhere or think they have to be a part of something, and that's not the case all the time. You don't have to be a part of everything to show you're still a friend, to show that you still showing support, to show that, okay, yeah, I can still be your partner, but there's another role that I can do and everything to help this. I don't I may not be able to do that, but there is something else I can do.
Right.
And everyone just has to know what their roles are and play that position and give it your 100%. Because if you're doing something that's for your partner and your friend, you should be putting your best foot forward in everything. I don't know if I'm cursing right now. I would say don't half-ass anything you're doing, especially like I said, for your business and your friend. You gotta give your all.
Yeah. And that goes into, you rolling right into the next part where we was talking about how does the lack of self-awareness contribute to the confusion, and what roles does societal pressures play in our expectations of all three connections. And most times the people would go with the unrealistic expectations fueled by media and cultural norms, and then fear of being alone, and therefore clinging to any connection regardless of the functionality. And our main thing that we've been saying all day is lack of clear communicational skills. That social media one, though, that is a topic in its own self. That's a whole nother that's a whole nother episode. Social media pressure, because that's the new norm right now. Yes, making millionaires, these young millionaires, and famous, making people famous and stuff, but the social pressure is also changing the mindset of millions of people at that same alarming rate, and you're not even realizing that you're struggling to keep up, most people. And then because they're trying to keep up with this new quote unquote norm, this is what's leaving people in a stagnant and chaotic state, whether in their friendships, in their relationships, and in their partnerships, because they don't, they're stuck on I pull up my Instagram, let's see what they're doing on Facebook. I need to be doing something like that. Well, you know what? And it's not even you.
Yeah, to me, it's like people are confusing social media and the internet with reality.
Yeah.
Like, social media and reality are two different things. Social media, people are highlighting, and some of them, probably majority of them, are fronting.
Yeah.
These are lies. These are things these are like gimmicks. These are characters they're putting on for your likes, for your views, for your attention. And they're just showing you, I would say, the good things, or if maybe the good things that are happening in their lives, but a lot of times is they're propping up things to make it seem better than what their real life really is. Because I know, we all know, everyone that's watching this, you know that person, or those people that's on social media and everything, and you can know them personally, and they're just putting stuff up, posting these things, and like people with these money phones and all this. But personally, like, dude, you're not living like that. That's not what you really do.
Right.
The whole gangster image, like, dude, I know your family, know how you were brought up. That was never you. But they're doing this and everything because that's what's getting attention. Everyone can see what is going to get more views, more comments, more likes, more subscribers, more followers. And that's what social media is doing, is people are building up these personas, and a lot of them are getting so used to these personas, they're confusing it with their real life. And that's what I feel kind of is causing a lot of these murder rates to go up amongst young people and everything, because you're doing stuff on here and these weird little prank things. You're doing all this for attention, and it's attracting the wrong attention.
The thing is, to tie it into this,
going away from that.
To tie that in with this is that goes back to, we all long for connection.
Yeah. Yep.
We all long for a connection, and that's what happens here. So when you're at your job talking to people who you think you connected or bonded with, and realize they was fake all along, no, they just was never connected to you, but you never took the time to communicate that, to talk with them, to see that. And that, so some people do a little more than they need to, go a little bit more out their way, which makes other people who are more introverted or subdued more uncomfortable. So then the confusion of, I don't really like, because they all, you see how they go, they all flamboyant, or they all nonchalant, or they all just too extra. So that tends to turn some people away, where now you're thinking, oh damn, That ain't no real friend to me. No, 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 no. Just because they're not operating at the same stage or level that you're operating, that doesn't mean they're not your friend, or they're not supporting you, or your significant other doesn't support you. Remember, you are still your own individual.
Yes.
You still have your own path and journey and purpose in life. They are there to literally be either your friend, your partner, or your significant other in a relationship. We can't be putting more pressure on that other person or those other people than what we expect of ourselves. And that's the problem that we do. We push on to people what our issues are or our lack of things are, and hopes that one of those people
fulfill
that void,
Mm-hmm.
which is a serious one, because that's another episode.
I would say, but that's what I said with the lack of the
Yeah.
connection thing.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you need someone to, and I don't want to say latch on to,
Mm-hmm.
but because like the energy that you're lacking,
Mm-hmm.
you're longing for that energy from somebody else.
Which is cool though.
Yeah,
in a certain degree.
Yeah, to a certain degree, to a
Yeah,
certain extent, there's nothing wrong with that.
To boost you up, to guide you, to give me that motivation. All right, I got it. You know what
But
I'm
it
saying?
also has to be consensual.
Yeah.
Like, it has to be someone and everything that's willing to do so. Like, if you're trying to, like, you're kind of like pushing yourself on someone because you feel like you're alone. It's like, okay, if you're feeling that way, talk to someone.
Mm-hmm.
Let someone know how you're feeling, and let it be someone that you know you can possibly bond with, or you may have that connection with and everything. But you have to also let them know how you're feeling. But like, talk to them first, and like, you know, kind of let them know where this is going. Because if you just dive right in and bombard, I'm feeling like that. Whoa.
Where's this coming from?
Yeah,
Wait
like,
a minute.
I
didn't
don't know
expect
you like
this.
that. Like, wait a minute.
Or if you do know them like that.
I would say you still want to.
Give me a heads
Yeah,
up. Okay,
yeah,
where we going? Well, okay. You know?
Like, I thought we were just chilling. Like, what is this?
All of a sudden, you just blurted out. You know, I mean,
So.
and there is no wrong or right way to actually lead into it, but just, you know, what we're saying is just give a little more of a heads up to, hey, I just want to talk for a minute, or hey, is it all right if I express myself a little bit?
Yeah,
you know, I got something
something
on my mind, you know,
Yeah.
some stuff like that. And that goes a long way, just the you know what I'm saying, just to pre-warn, this is what I'm feeling, and I just needed somebody to talk to, you know what I'm saying? And going back to, like I said, the friendships, partnerships, and relationships, the differentials is more so for the confusing part of, okay, like this next part I'm about to say, I really was debating on not to bring it up because it is a touchy part of the subject, and a lot of people feel, well, hold on, that's a matter of opinion strictly on how they feel about things.
Yeah, but man, we talking that
I know.
talk.
We talking that talk.
And like I said, this is a matter of opinion. We're not saying this is a fact. This is just
we
our
talking that
opinion.
talk.
So let's talk that talk.
So when it comes to relationships, and you got that significant other that's everything you want, everything you need, and you just pouring in all of your, dumping all of your issues, your problems, your troubles, everything. You don't think for a moment that significant other is going to get tired of it and get turned off from you? Because all you can provide is problems, issues. That's all you can talk about. That's all you're thinking about. That's all you are. It's problems, issues. When that becomes the thing that your significant other starts to realize, that tends to make people look a different direction.
Because you're no longer their peace.
Or it makes them stressed, depressed, and now they have to go dump their issue off onto a coworker or a friend or something. See the trickle effect here?
Yeah.
And now that person, that other friend or that coworker might be that person that also turns into
Like
that relationship.
Yeah, I'll say the new person
And that's
that they
what tends
confide
to
in.
happen all the time, so much where they write movies about it nowadays. It's always in a dialogue or a TV show or something. But it's a real thing though, because that goes back to you working on yourself too.
Yep.
Knowing the differences between the three, but also working on yourself to know better, to know where you are and who you are talking to or communicating with in that proper moment, because some can take advantage of it too on the other side.
Can manipulate you.
Yeah, I'm dealing with this emotional broken woman, and man, she just right now she vulnerable as hell, man. You know what I'm saying? Some you got it's so many sides to this coin, not just one and two. We're deferring which between the three are with whom you ever are talking to is very critical, because you know some people plenty of times take advantage of other people in that very vulnerable state, and sadly it is men taking advantage of women in those vulnerable states. Oh baby, I'm here for you, you know. Oh really, you going through that? Oh, but that coworker really didn't need to hear that probably, because that ain't going to help you later. They might be in their own little mind. Oh, here's an opportunity to get finally what I wanted out of her.
Yep, I was thinking that coworker was probably looking at the female coworker in a certain way the whole time,
that
and
friendship,
just waiting for the opportunity, because they're reading the energy from you.
Yeah,
they're like, oh, she's having relationship issues.
Oh, is she talking to me about it?
Yo, yeah, I'll be that ear for you.
You know what?
I'll be there. Yeah, like yo, you can always come to me. Yeah. You can always talk to me. I got you. Don't worry about it.
Oh no, we just friends. We just friends.
There's just between me and you.
Yep.
And that one moment that you are ready to like crash out because you feel like you can't take anymore, and you talk to that guy, he seems so perfect because he seems that he's listening.
Yeah.
But it's all a ploy, because I'm listening, but I'm listening with an ulterior motive.
Of course.
So that's the difference. If you have a person that's listening because they are really genuinely worried about your health and well-being, like your mental health and well-being and stuff like that, because they really are worried about you, that's one thing. But if it's someone that you can tell there's an ulterior motive behind it, they can mask it and act like, yeah, but there's certain things. It should be like certain vibes and everything. If you can take, and in that state is so hard, but like I said, if you can take some of that emotion out of it and just really dial in and pay attention, you will notice who is being genuine and who has a certain narrative in their mind, or is a reasoning to why they're doing this. And that's like a main cause in a lot of relationships. That ends a lot of relationships, and then afterwards, communication again. It's about communication. And
what do you feel about friends of the opposite sex, or even the same sex, who were friends and then they got with each other? That type of scenario situation. Because they thought that their friendship was so good.
That
it
could transcend it to
a relationship. Yeah.
For me, it's that gray area, because I always tell people, like, it depends on the individuals. Some people are mature enough to handle it, and and it's a lot more that can't. But in my mind, I kind of always wanted something more than just a friendship. Now, the other person could have just been like, yeah, that's just my people's. That's my friend and everything. This is totally innocent.
Right.
And since this person was doing everything the right way because they were learning you, and they were like, oh, you like this, you like that, you like this. And even though that's not what this friend was really about, they are willing to sacrifice that to get what they want. So like I said, it can work if it's, organic. If you two have really
mutual.
Yeah, like if you two have really like been friends like that, and y'all kind of have seen have come across the same issues, but when you guys talk to each other, and it always feels so natural, you always feel that energy with each other, you guys are so connected with things, sometimes it can work for the good. Mm-hmm. So like I said, I always look at it like it depends on the individuals.
Right.
It depends on your maturity, it depends on your mental state, it depends on your emotion, it depends on your spirituality. Because a lot of people like seem to like try to disconnect from spirit or don't want to believe in this.
Right.
Like, if all that is intertwined and it comes together, cool, that's beautiful, it can work. Mm-hmm. But for the most part, that's one of those. That's one of those like slippery slopes. Like I said, it depends. So I'm not against it, but I'm more so. If anyone asks me, I always try to deep dive into things. So you really have to pay attention to yourself. You really have to read the situation, know who this person really is. You can say you know them, but again,
that's more so with taking time to know them too.
Yeah.
But and in some instances, a lot of people do, especially their co-workers or somebody that they turn into a relationship. They've like, well, I worked for them for years. I know this and that, but you've been in work. Yeah. Or maybe a few functions outside of work, business related. But get to know them, like you going out or something on a personal level before making that decision. Because don't forget, that is a co-worker that you are now trying to transition into a relationship with. Well, we just said those are different things, different dynamics takes place, different rules, if you want to say, and everything else has to be thought of in consideration, because now your emotional attachment is to it, your personal information, your personal thoughts and feelings are attached to that. Now it's no longer just this brief little co-worker or partner or whatever, however you go, may be.
And I know males that watch this are probably going to hate me saying this.
Shoot.
But if there's like a co-worker thing, before getting into the intimacy part, learn this person first. Yeah. Because if you think it's spending time is just getting together and smashing, that's not spending time together. Okay, y'all might be compatible in that way, but then the moment,
and most times they're not compatible like that that way. It's just the excitement of something new.
So it's just the excitement
until it gets old.
Yep, I would say, because like if you guys can't even function together, like talk and really have a decent conversation.
Yeah, that's a telltale sign.
Yeah, that's not going to work.
Yeah.
If all it is strictly physical all the time, like so we get up and everything, okay, hey,
you know what time it is.
Yeah, what's going on, how was your day and everything, and you already walked to the bedroom? Yo,
you think that connection is really there?
Yeah, like, dude,
unless they have an agreement like that.
Well, I would say, that's not a relationship then.
No, but you got to understand, we're talking about the confusion here. This is where people are getting things mixed up.
But see, that's where I leave you. You're getting confused on what a relationship is.
From a partnership to or a friend, whatever you want to call it.
Situationship.
An entanglement.
Yep.
Whatever you want to call it.
Sorry, Will.
No, see, look, you went too far. But whatever you want to call it, that's why this is about that. You know what I'm saying? You just gave an example. That was a good example of how the confusion can happen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then you wonder why. And then you slip up. Not to mention, having a child in between all of this, and you really didn't care. Because it really wasn't supposed to be all that, or you found out that the friendship should have just stayed a friendship before you got into that relationship, because it wasn't there.
Yeah, I'll say, because
it ain't the same.
Y'all really didn't click like that.
Because you wasn't trying to learn each other like that either. You just was lusting, or like it just happened one night. Yeah. Nah, you should have took a little more time than that. Now, a little more willpower.
Yeah, I was saying that's what it is.
It gets deep, man. Like I said, you could take these topics like this and just segue into so many other avenues, because it affects so many things. So many things. getting
Everyday
what you
things.
do in your relationship into your partnership with your coworkers or your business partner, and going and taking that into the other side of
like your basic friendships.
your basic friendship. That's how things get misconstrued, messed up, and just like, you know what I'm saying, misunderstood.
Yeah.
For the most part, misunderstood. And like we're here to try to, you know, address this, talk about it. You know, we're gonna open it up to, you know, not just this moment. We'll have multiple moments, and actually, I want to ask more people more questions, because on the street, and because we have a lot more that digs deeper into it. So we will do a part 2 of this as well, and to keep going on, because it's a lot to cover.
Yeah, I would say, and I feel like these are topics that we should, like, everyone, even those who watching, have these conversations with your friends.
Yep.
So everybody can get a feel of things. And then you can see, like, how everybody is looking at things, because we all may have different opinions about things.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah,
surprised.
so
Oh, damn, I didn't know you look at it like that. A friendship like that. I didn't know you look at a business like that. A partnership like that.
Yeah, like,
it'll shock you just asking those 3 questions alone.
That's it. You can also see what type of mindset and everything your friends have.
Yeah.
You can see what type of time they on.
Instead of assuming.
Yeah.
Everything.
I'll say, yeah, because you can
love
think.
To assume.
Yeah, you can think, oh yeah, like no, he feel like I do, or yeah, she feel just like me. No, not at all.
Yeah.
If they ask one simple question, everything you can have in your mind what you think that person gonna say, and that person go way left. You be like, oh, see, and I thought I knew someone.
Yeah.
Yes, I didn't. So yeah, like these are like topics and conversation that should be had regularly, to be totally honest.
Yeah.
And these are basic things like for communication, because this can open up lines of communication with each other.
You rolling in right into the next one to kind of wrap this up is for this part 1 is what advice can you give for safely transitioning or ending a partnership or a connection through a relationship friendship. So, you know, those
Honesty.
Yeah.
Honestly, even if you think it's going to, even if you think it's going to hurt that person's feelings, or they're going to feel some type of way, I think they would respect you much more for just being honest.
Yeah.
They may not like it. They may, even if they like kind of like lash or spaz out in the moment.
Right.
Once time settles, and because you know they're going to ask other people, or they're probably going to tell someone else and everything. Well, this he said this, or she said this, and one of your more logical friends or someone that you're talking to, they're going to tell you. They're like, well, what are you mad about? At least they told you. Like they handled it the right way. They should have told you. Would you feel better if they never said anything?
Right.
And then you find out afterwards, or when something fails, then
or it's too far now, something didn't happen and escalated.
Yeah, escalated and everything, that you can't back out now.
Yeah.
Or it makes it even worse if you were to part ways.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So we have to respect each other's feelings about things, and if, like I say, even if it's not what you want, we can't have everything we want. Okay, even if you feel like, oh well, but it takes 2 people. So you have to respect that other person, and like I said, especially if they're being open and honest.
Right.
As long as they're not being disrespectful.
Yeah.
Because if they're saying something out of anger and just saying
That's
it to be spiteful, Then, but if it's like a very sincere and genuine conversation, they're coming at you from the most authentic place, from their heart and everything, because they respect, and it could be because the love they have for you. They can love you enough to try to walk away, or be like, yo, I'm not the best person for this business. I'm not the best person for this relationship. Our friendship is maybe certain things that maybe something they're going through in their life. Okay, I think I need to step away. It's not you, but I need to step away because I don't want to bring you into this.
Right.
Or if it is something that is about you, unfortunately, you have to respect that, because you know what you're doing. You know if something is kind of foul, or something that you ain't doing, and your friend knows this. and they're like, I can't be a part of that.
Right.
They're doing it because, okay, yeah, I'm your friend, I love you, and they could probably even be trying to talk you out of doing this, but you're so ahead into it, like nah, like this is what, okay, well, I gotta step back.
I'm glad you just said that, because a lot of people, a few people would be more so, oh, this is the way I am, and you got, if you gonna get with me or not, or you gonna be my
like,
people, you rolling with me, you know how I get down, how I am.
That's a very selfish attitude.
Well, one, for that, yeah, and two, that means that other person is not obligated to accept your friendship,
Yeah.
because they don't have to accept your friendship because of how you are.
Mm-hmm.
And then everybody knows how you are, but they think, oh, they corny, they phony. No, they don't have to be your friend. They don't have to do business with you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay,
That's the reality of it.
Okay,
Or if it's someone that you're trying to get with, they don't have to get with you because of, you know how you are.
Mm-hmm.
Simple as that. You know what I'm saying? Your personality can affect a lot of things here, and that's what's driving the connections or the disconnect from people, friendships, partnerships, or relationships.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And this, like I said, these three topics is like, you don't think about it like that, and this is just small things, but they are big things at the same time, because we're intertwining them every day, and we thinking that is nothing because it's been the norm.
Yeah, it's like we think it's all a part of the same thing.
I mean, yeah, like I said before, movies, TV shows, they normalize it and make you think that this is what it's supposed to be,
regular.
and it ain't. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, with that, these are some of the key points that I did jot down from what I just asked about. What advice can you give for safely transitioning or ending partnerships, friendships, and the connections? Practical steps would be self-reflection, journaling about your needs and expectations. That's what being honest in your expectations and stuff for life. Clarity, defining terms and agree on expectations with others, more like your business and stuff like that. You know, being clear, precise on who you are. Yeah, you might not get it all right, you know what I'm saying, or say everything to while you're trying to be clear and everything. You might miss a few things, but along the way, oh yeah, and by the way, such and such, this and this and that.
Be clear about what you expect from the person too and everything, so they can understand what what you're saying and what you need from that person, and they can whether agree or disagree whether this is the best fit for them.
Right.
Because if you're just going in and you're like, you're keeping hidden certain things, or you're just keeping stuff close to your chest about certain things, but this is vital information that this person should know.
Right.
Because if they don't know this and everything, now you mad because they're not fulfilling this spot or they're not doing it. Yeah. Okay, I didn't know that this is what you expected of me.
Yep.
You never told me that.
Look at it like this. You got in business, you got the partnership going on. Most times in a partnership, you take it so seriously, you do what? You created a contract or an agreement. You put it in writing that, hey, this is what I want, this is what I need, this is what I expect, and if we can't meet this, we'll part ways with this percentage, that percentage, or this is what you'll take, this is what I'll take.
Yep.
The relationship, it shouldn't be so harsh like that, but at the same time, it should be kind of laid out like that. This is who I am. This is what I project on to see my future, or the person I want to be with, spend my life with, and grow with, or whatever. And these are the terms, but not so much as a hardship of a partnership. That's what I'm saying, defining the difference. Because now, don't forget, in that relationship, you're emotionally attached to this. You know what I'm saying? And some people might be in their business too, but your relationship is far more precious when it's got your heart and mind and your soul connected to it.
Yeah.
Versus that business that can be erased, controlled, alt, deleted, and start over with a new one. You know what I'm saying? You can't do that so many times with your heart, your mind, and your spirit. You know what I'm saying? Before it becomes broken or battered, where you're not even tolerating yourself, let alone somebody else tolerating you. You know what I'm saying? So we just look at it that way. Look at it in that severity. You guarding your heart, not with the materialistic world. You're guarding your heart with your mind and your body and your spirit. You know what I'm saying? Not to go too deep on that one, because this ain't that episode. You know, with your mind, body, and spirit stuff. But that is the part of the personal side of your relationship that you should take as serious as you would do a contract inside of your partnership. That's all. And then the last one is seek professional help from a therapist or a coach to resolve conflict, or someone you can confide in, into personal guidance with non-bias. That is very hard, but with non-bias, but at least confiding in that external person or the internal person that may be knowing you the most. That way, the judgment is less. It's fair and a little more kind of opinionated, but more stern on the thoughts without having to have a sway. Well, I know you like this, so I know you need to be. No. Let's talk what it is and say what it is on what we're delivering.
I think as now, we'll say this about our culture. We have to remove the stigma of thinking going to a therapist means you're crazy.
Yeah.
Because I think that's something that has been so like instilled in us.
Yeah.
That because either we see it on television all the time that people that's in therapist either is in a white straight jacket and or there's a soul broken in their mind, and sometimes you may actually need, like I said, a therapist that's non-biased, that they don't know you personally, so they're going to take what you're saying and they're going to give you an opinion whether you kind of agree with it or not.
Right.
Because sometimes we may need to hear that hard truth. Because someone who's close to us is going to shy away from giving that hard truth because we know how we're going to take it.
Yep.
And they don't want to hurt our feelings. They don't want to say anything that they feel they're stepping out of line or out of bounds. And they know, okay, well, if I say this, even though they may feel the same thing that a therapist may tell you, but they know if it comes from me, you're going to take it personal and it's going to ruin our friendship. It's going to ruin this relationship because now you're thinking I'm attacking you. When if this guy who you're paying money to says this, that's just his job, and he's saying something that you kind of have to take that.
Right.
I'm paying you. I can't just walk away from this. I done paid you this money.
Right.
So you're giving me your honest opinion from what you're saying, and even though I don't want to hear that, I have to acknowledge that now. And that's something that I think self-reflection. You mentioned that in there. We all have to self-reflect. We all have to self-heal and understand, like, either look at ourselves in the mirror and strip ourselves down and see the real us and acknowledge the real us, not the person that we're putting out in front of everybody, not the mask that we put on when we go outside, and the fake smiles or the fake mean mugs and all that stuff and everything. We have to, because we have to face ourselves every day. We know who we are.
Right.
And once we really get to understand that and understand the stuff that we have went through, and we understand that stuff that's hurting us, we have to do what we have to do to get past that so we can have functioning partnerships, functioning friendships, functioning relationships. And I think that's the part that's really hindering a lot of us and I will say in our culture.
Yeah.
Because we're dealing with so much and everything, from whether it's society, racism, the prejudices, and if we feel we're being held down and held back, we deal with so much on a regular basis. And I mean, sometimes it could be something that we just go outside and we automatically just think that's happening because we see someone of a different culture or different ethnicity, and if they look at it a certain way, oh, you thinking I'm a nigga, you thinking I'm this, you think I'm listening to you because of this. And that may be the farthest thing from their mind.
Right.
But we are so hurt as a people still that's instilled in us and everything. We look at someone else and thinking that they're thinking less of us.
That's another topic.
Yeah.
That's another topic.
So, I mean, we...
Don't go too far into that. That's another topic. We're going to save that. And those who know me definitely know that's my language. And we're going to deep dive into that part of it, that spiritual side, that spiritual awakening, the deep diving of the mental clarity and the mental mind and the peaceful heart, you know, and the finding your purpose in life. That's much deeper right now.
Yeah.
So, but just to wrap this episode up with the advice of the being direct and honest, like you mentioned, and we're going into the, even if it's uncomfortable to be that way, but also we have to realize when some friendships just ain't for us, when some partnerships just ain't for us, and when some relationships just ain't for us. You got to know when, and that's the hardest part for a lot of people, because whether you didn't put so much time and money into that business, and it's your passion business, but it wasn't the right time or the right partners. You put so much time into that loved one that you thought was it. Oh, this is my wife, or this is my husband to be, or this is, I can see the future with. But it wasn't the right person, or ended up not being the right time. Because of the way the things lined up, or the communication wasn't there, or the differences, or whatever have you. You just got to know when to detach.
Yeah, I'll say, or it may have been just because we look at things just from the shell of things. This person is so like, oh man, we would look so great together. Oh man, he or she is beautiful. Oh man, that's what I need on my arm.
Great kids together.
Like, oh man,
yeah.
And we can't look at things that way. We look at things that we want more so than what we need.
Yeah.
And that's something I feel that we fall short at all the time, because we look at wants more than necessities. It could be someone and everything. Okay, he or she may not be that great on the eyes, or we may not look at that person as that's what we see ourselves with. But their mind, their heart, their intelligence, how we laugh together.
No, talk the way you really want to talk. What you're saying is the visual pleasing of the eye might not be the baddest one in the block.
Yeah, I'll tell you, she
on the bunch.
Yeah, she may not be the video vixen or stuff like that. But she is the
most wholesome, the most realistic.
That's like the perfect person for you, because she can provide everything that you need.
Yeah, don't hold your tongue on it, man. Say how you want. Talk that talk, man.
You know everything you need is what this person has.
Yeah.
But what you want isn't there.
Right.
And that is what makes us all fall short.
Yeah.
We will fall short because we're looking at something like
the outside shell of what we want.
Looking at the outside and everything, when that person that has what we want on the outside is ugly on the inside.
Right.
But we don't want to look at that and everything. Now, when I go out, niggas gonna be jealous of me. They gonna be like, oh, how he bagged that.
Or flip it over. You are that cold person, that flyest dude on the block, or that coldest chick in the room. But you are broken so far inside that you're spilling out on all these people, these energies that no one wants to see you in that light, or are thinking that you are the beautiful person that you saying you are, or showing that you are. So it could be those wrong times. And also we'll go into the last one is friendships. When the friendships just ain't there, you can feel it. If the reciprocation of my support versus your support ain't there, or the needing of what you give and what I take is not there, and stuff like that, when you start seeing the signs, especially with friendships, I do feel like, for me personally, it is just as strong as a family, relationship, but it's easier to let go. So a lot of people just let go friendships a dime a dozen all the time, even though out of fairness, some of your friends are more family than your family. You know what I'm saying?
Very true.
So either or. So it don't matter, family or friend. We're considering this in the friendship, as we're talking about friendship now. Family or friend. Those friendships could be broken too. You just got to know when to let go, when enough is enough, when you know it's not working. You know what I'm saying? So on that note, we'll leave it out with be respectful and have empathy. Focus on the shared history and what was built together. Seek meditation to facilitate a peaceful separation. Now, I know that might sound crazy to some people, but that's the thing. Let it sound that way, but take it in and understand something new for you to grow in another area that is new or is old, but taking a new approach to things. And on that note, I'm going to end it right there, and we'll save the rest for part 2. You good with that, fam?
Yeah.
All right.
That's it, man. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah. So that concludes this episode of Talk That Talk with Q. I am Q. This is
Do you take?
and we're signing off. Peace.
Thanks.
Share